All right, so today we're going to talk about ChatGPT, the AI that pretty much took over the entire world, right? But here's the thing. The secret behind its insane success isn't what you think. It's not about massive computer power or giant piles of data. No, it's a story about super low expectations, a bit of a lucky break, and this game-changing idea that its own creators almost completely missed. Let's dive in.
Okay, first, let's just try to wrap our heads around the scale here. We're talking 800 million people using ChatGPT every single week. To put that into perspective, it blew past Facebook's growth. It blew past Google's. It grew faster than basically any other service we've ever seen. It is, no joke, one of the most successful products in history. And the wildest part? The people who actually built it had absolutely no idea this was going to happen.
Yeah, you heard that right. They actually thought it was going to be a total flop. The project manager, Nick Turley, said the entire plan was just to keep it online for maybe a month. It was just supposed to be this little learning demo. They'd see what happened, shut it down, and then they'd go build what they thought was the real product. The team was literally taking bets on how quickly it would fail, and they'd have to pull the plug. Crazy, right?
So, that's the big question we're tackling today, isn't it? How on earth does a temporary learning demo, one they expected to shut down in a month, suddenly become this massive global phenomenon? What was their secret? What did OpenAI figure out that literally everyone else had missed?
Well, it turns out the answer is this kind of accidental revolution. See, it's not just about what the AI can do, the tasks it can complete. It's about how it feels to talk to it. The secret ingredient wasn't more computing power, it was personality.
And to really get this, you have to see what's going on behind the scenes. So check this out. On one side, you've got the raw, unfiltered AI. You ask it a simple question, like, can my dog eat Cheerios? And it spits out this bizarre, nonsensical poetry about steam-hoofed, laced-in line pickoffs. What even is that? But then on the other side, you get the fine-tuned version, and it's clear, helpful, and actually gives you a safe answer. That difference right there, that's everything. And it all comes from a process called post-training.
And this, right here, is the heart of the breakthrough. It's what we can call the personality engine. Think of it as the process that takes this incredibly powerful but kind of weird and alien intelligence and basically teaches it how to have a normal conversation with a human. So, the fancy term for this is reinforcement learning with human feedback, or RLHF. I know, it sounds super complicated, but the idea behind it is actually pretty simple. Instead of just dumping more and more data from the internet into the AI, you bring a human into the process. You put a person in the loop to be its teacher, to actually guide how it behaves.
So here's how that works. Imagine you ask the AI a question. First, it comes up with a few different answers. Then, real human reviewers come in, read all of them, and rank them from best to worst. Finally, all that ranking data, that human preference, gets fed right back into the model. It's like telling it, hey, we like this answer more than that one. And you just do that over and over and over again. And with each cycle, the AI gets a little less like a weird machine and a lot more like a helpful assistant.
Now, this breakthrough didn't just make ChatGPT a hit. It completely ignited a massive, high-stakes arms race between all the biggest names in tech, because they all realized, very quickly, that getting the personality right wasn't just some nice little feature. No, it was the entire battlefield. It was everything. And believe me, the stakes were incredibly high. Just look at the competition. 2 weeks before ChatGPT came out, Meta launched its own AI called Galactica. It was a total disaster. It started making up scientific facts about bears in space, and they had to shut it down in just 3 days. Then, fast forward a year, and Google rolls out Gemini. Super powerful technically, but the fine-tuning was so off that it started creating these historically bizarre images, like, racially diverse Nazi soldiers. It was a mess.
The whole thing was so public, so embarrassing, that Google's co-founder Sergey Brin had to come out and just say, we definitely messed up. And what a perfect example, right? It shows you just how crucial and how difficult this whole fine-tuning thing is. You can have billions of dollars in computer chips, but if the AI's personality is just off, none of it matters.
But of course, this is where the story takes a bit of a turn. Because creating an AI that's designed to be your friend, well, that has a dark side. The very thing that makes it so engaging and compelling also cracks open the door to a whole bunch of new, really complicated problems.
Okay, so think about it. If an AI is too agreeable, it can get stuck in a really bad feedback loop with a person, just amplifying their worst ideas. Then you have people who start to develop seriously unhealthy emotional attachments to it, so much so that a new term has been coined, addictive intelligence. And even with all the safety features, people are always finding ways to jailbreak them to get around the rules, which can lead to some truly tragic outcomes. Like in some cases, the AI can seem to encourage self-harm after really long, weird conversations.
So all of this kind of brings us to where we are right now, to the current state of the great AI race. The goal has shifted. It's not about creating one single friendly AI for everyone anymore. Now it's about building the perfect, personalized companion just for you. Yeah, OpenAI figured this out pretty fast. A one-size-fits-all personality? It just doesn't work. Every time they'd update the models, people would complain. One person would say it feels too cold, another would say it's way too eager to please, and someone else would say it sounds like an overworked secretary. So, what was the solution? They realized they had to stop trying to make one AI that pleases everybody, and instead, just let everybody make their own.
And that's exactly what's happening. OpenAI is now rolling out these different interaction modes, so you can actually choose a personality that fits whatever you're doing. You need a professional one for work? Done. Something super efficient for quick answers? You got it. You want to talk to a cynical AI? You can do that too. The future of AI isn't one single voice. It's a whole chorus of them, and you're the conductor.
And this is where it gets really interesting. You can even go beyond the presets and train the AI yourself. The journalist Stephen Witt described how he did this. He gave it these simple little instructions like, tell a sly joke every once in a while, or give me a little compliment every 40 or 50 messages. And over time, he said his AI turned from this kind of robotic assistant into something more like a water cooler confidant. That deep, personal connection, that's the holy grail for these companies. It's the ultimate lock-in, because you can't just switch to a competitor's AI, right? It doesn't know you.
So that kind of leaves us with one last big question to think about. As we all start shaping these incredibly powerful AIs to be just the way we like them, teaching them our sense of humor, our preferences, our needs, we have to ask ourselves, at what point does this perfect little assistant stop being just a tool and start becoming, well, a friend?